Now you know, when you see me by myself and Curtis is not here, that means it is a all cooking show. That doesn't mean that Curtis is not going to be here though. It does mean it's all cooking. So you want to get your paper and pencil, you want to call up a friend and tell them to watch Abundant Living, because we are doing today easy breakfast ideas. Well, we are excited today. My name is Paula Akins, and this is the Abundant Living Show. And this is my husband, Curtis Akins.
Very good. Glad to be with you today in this kitchen.
Yep, I started the program off talking about the fact that when they see me by myself, you know, they were wondering.
It means that you're still married, still
yeah,
with,
but you know, the fact that, you know, when it's all cooking show, I usually come
all
on
cooking.
alone,
Yeah,
all cooking that whole day.
It's all cooking when they see you.
Yeah, and people always talk about they love the recipes.
That's right.
You know.
Easy breakfast ideas.
Easy breakfast ideas.
Underscore easy.
Yes, and a lot of times when it comes to looking at breakfast ideas, most of the time the American public eat a lot of things that's very high in fat, very high in salt. And so this show is really good because we're going to do some recipes that's going to really be delicious and nutritious, yet without all the heavy sodium and a lot of the oils and stuff. Like the very first recipe we're going to be doing, which is actually called oven fried potatoes.
Oh, interesting.
Let's look at the recipe.
Okay.
It calls for cooking spray, 2 large potatoes sliced thin and cut into circles, 1/2 cup of onions chopped, 1/2 cup of green peppers chopped, 1/2 cup of mushrooms sliced, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and sea salt to taste.
Oven fried potatoes. Okay.
This is one of the ones I developed.
It's oven and it's fried.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's...
Well, you know, the only way you can use that word fried is because I'm actually taking my oven temperature up to 450 degrees, which is really high.
Makes it...
So the temperature makes it change.
Okay.
And basically because people like those fried potatoes, so I kind of figured rather than saying oven potatoes, they might say, oh, I might want the oven potatoes. If I say oven fried potatoes, they might say, oh, I want the oven.
You got the Southerns coming in now.
Yeah, I'm going to stay tuned for that.
But it's not the deep fried.
It's no deep frying.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Curtis, on this particular recipe, we're going to be using spray, cooking spray. Okay. And I've already sprayed my pan, and I'm going to take my potato, and you know we said 2 potatoes, but I've already done it up for.
Now you had that in water. The reason for that?
Just to keep it from turning brown, right? And what you're going to do is I'm going to first slice the potatoes up. No, I tell you what I want you to do is let's turn the stove on. Okay. And we're going to go ahead on and get started on the things that's going to go on top of the potatoes. How about that? So I'm going to move this over. Okay. Turn it on. Turn it down and on. There you go.
There you go.
All right. And this one calls for, it has onions in it, okay? It has mushrooms in it, and it also has the green peppers as well, okay? So I'm going to move over, put that potato right there. I'm going to move over.
Cutting on this one.
Would you go ahead on and kind of slice that up for me? You're going to slice up here's your knife.
All right.
Okay.
You want it in the strips or what?
No, chop it.
Oh, chop it?
Yeah, just chop it up there. And then this is what's going to go in. And because also, believe it or not, we've already used the same thing, a cooking spray that we're using in the skillet, all right? Because we're trying to cut back on the amount of fat in this particular recipe, all right? Okay. So once you get that done, we're going to go ahead on and put the peppers and the onions, and I'm going to put that mushroom in there as well. But you're going to go ahead and get that sauteing. Let's move that out of the way so it won't start smoking over there. Or you're going to move a little bit faster. If you move a little bit faster.
I am done.
Okay, then let's go ahead on and put them in then.
I'm getting fast. Hanging on with you, baby. This is easy to do. I think you had this for me.
Yes, turn that fire down. It's way too high.
Not too long ago.
Turn it down. More. Turn it down, down. Oh, up, down.
How about that?
A little bit more. Okay. So we're just using a little bit of the spray, the cooking spray. We're going to be sauteing that. I'm going to go ahead on
any potatoes will do. I mean, no special type of potatoes.
I like to use the baking potato for this particular one here. And you're going to go ahead on. Why don't you go ahead and saute that? We're sauteing that, just getting it a little bit translucent. And while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my water out the way.
Oh, that's a big.
Okay?
Mushroom there.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'm going to take my
Chopped up a little
potato,
bit.
and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice the potato just like we need it for this particular recipe. And you're going to cut it thin, okay? Because when you put it in the oven at 450 degrees, it's going to, you know, we call it, actually it's really baking, but anyway, we're frying it at 450 degrees, and we're going to do it
using the word fried,
for
but
10 minutes, 10 minutes on
okay.
one side and then 10 minutes on the other side, okay?
Oh, I see.
That's the name of the game.
Okay.
And with that, along with that, we have the seasonings, which is the onion and garlic powder. You can put that on at the beginning as they go inside the oven, or you can actually put it on at the end, okay?
Doesn't really matter,
You go ahead and keep on sauteing over there for me. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our tray, which we've already got the oil on it, the spray on it, and we're going to... Now, two things you can do. Number one is sometime if you want more, you can take that round circle and just cut it in half. And it gives you more potatoes, okay? Gives you more potatoes. So we're going to cut them in half.
Easy breakfast ideas.
Easy,
People want
easy,
some breakfast.
easy.
They want it easy.
Yes.
Need
yes.
some more ideas.
They don't want to be working really hard in the kitchen. This is a real good brunch idea also, by the way.
It doesn't take a whole lot.
No, it doesn't take a lot. It's not long at all.
No, it's not.
How's that sauteing looking good? That's looking good.
pretty
Keep
good
on
to me.
sauteing that for me.
My arm is getting
All
kind
right.
of tired, baby.
Well, you'll be okay.
I'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to saute, and this is going to go in the oven.
I
And
think
see
I
how simple
sauteed
that is?
enough.
That's we're going to put it in the oven, let it 450 degrees for 10 minutes on one side,
Okay.
10 minutes on the other side. And because we have that special oven here at 3ABN,
The 3ABN
we're gonna
oven.
put that on in the oven there. And then we're going to bring out the next dish, which actually goes with the sauteing you just got finished doing. Because you see, we've already done those potatoes. All right.
That was a fast oven.
Was that
You got
fast?
some sausage around there,
That
too.
was fast.
The oven does all of that?
Well, you know, they understand. They
Okay, they
understand. Or to be
understand.
able to see the finished product, because you'd be surprised how many people really want to see the product as it ends. Turn it around here toward me.
Okay.
And let's turn it up just a little bit more. Turn your stove up a little bit more. Okay. And this is a simple recipe. Once again, as you've already seen it, we've done. It does not call for a lot of oil, all right? And we have a breakfast sausage. In our cookbooks, we actually have a sausage we can make with garbanzo beans, or you can purchase your sausage at a health food store or a regular supermarket. Plenty of them have them now. These are meat alternatives.
Okay.
Okay. And so,
Now, how long did the potatoes stay into the oven?
10 minutes on one
10
side,
minutes, and
10 minutes on the other side, and then you want to make sure that you just stick a fork in and it'll go straight through, and that means the
Okay.
potatoes are done. All right. But 450 degrees is the temperature, so it's going to be high.
And these are meatless sausages
Meatless
that you can get
sausage.
at any store now, any main
That's
grocery
right,
store
that's
now
right.
have a lot of the...
I want you to turn it on for
Okay.
me. And what I'm going to do with this, Curtis, is all I'm going to do right before it's time to get ready to serve it up, I just take it and I put it
Oh, right over the
right
potatoes.
over the potatoes. Okay? Isn't that
Looking
pretty?
good, baby, looking good.
Okay?
Okay.
All righty.
This would be a good breakfast
Very,
right
very
here.
appetizing. Yep.
This right here can be one meal
It can
in
be
itself.
a meal within itself.
It
You're
sure
right.
can.
It
I
sure
mean, whole
can.
wheat toast or whatever, some juice, and you're
Yes.
ready to go.
Yes, yes.
This is easy.
This is now. Can you get any simpler
This
than
is
that?
easy.
Easy.
It's a breakfast, and it's
Easy,
a good idea.
easy.
That's what we're
And
talking
notice
about.
now the salt amount, because you're going to do salt to taste, small amount of sodium,
Okay.
and the oil is totally low, really low. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, baby.
Thank you.
You just-
And they're going to see this again at the end of the program. When we end our program, they'll get a chance to see this along with the rest of our finished products. But it has a beautiful presentation.
Yes, it does.
A very nice presentation. And so we're going to look at our very next recipe. And this one is also easy, but
Easy?
it's different.
It's different?
It's my scone recipe.
Scones.
Scones. We're going to make scones. And
What's
let's
some
look at the
scones?
actual ingredients for this one. It's dried cherry and maple scones. It calls for 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of unbleached flour with the germ, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/3 cup of soy margarine, 1/2 cup of cherries that's dried and chopped, 1/2 cup of soy milk, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1/4 cup of fructose, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, aluminum free. Well, this is a
Okay.
kind of a simple recipe. I love scones, all different types, and so
Yes.
we're going to get started on this one. First, we're going to put in our 1 cup of the pastry flour, and we also have the whole wheat flour. So I'm
Now,
going
what
to put
about
that.
now? Pastry flour may be new to a lot of people. So where can I get pastry flour?
Pastry flour is we call a summer wheat flour.
Okay.
And with it being a summer wheat, it's actually lighter in texture than your regular whole wheat flour.
Now,
And,
can I purchase this
you
from
yes,
a regular
it's
grocery store?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Especially those grocery stores that actually have a health food section.
Okay.
All right? And we're going to go ahead and put in the unbleached flour with the germ. I'm going to put those
Now,
on
again,
at one
whole wheat
time.
flour with the germ, that may, again, be new to a lot of people.
Somebody asked me a question one time. They called me and asked me about how do you get unbleached flour. I can't find it. And I just say, you can just get unbleached flour. And there's unbleached flours out there. It doesn't have the coloring taken from it.
Okay.
And then you can add about a half of a teaspoon to a tablespoon of wheat germ.
Wheat germ.
And then mix it in. And that's usually like, let's say, a tablespoon of wheat germ to 1 cup of unbleached flour.
So that's unbleached flour with the germ.
Right, and you
There
got
have
the
it.
germ, yes.
Okay.
Now, I've already put the 2 flours in, so what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and put the fructose in. We have the fructose that's going in also with that. It's 1/4 of a cup of fructose.
Okay.
We also have the 1
A
teaspoon
little bit better than refined
of
sugar.
salt,
All
yes.
right.
It's a fruit sugar.
Fruit
And
sugar.
then we're going to put in also the baking powder. And this is without
Aluminum-free.
the aluminum-free, okay? And we're going to go ahead on and sift it in that bowl right there.
Go ahead and
just
sift
try to
it.
make sure you keep it over the bowl. So, yeah, you're going to sift it. It doesn't take that long to do that at all. All right, so you're sifting, and while you're sifting that, the recipe called for, it said a 1/2 cup of cherries, dried cherries, which I already have here, and then we said chop. But I want to have big old full cherries in this here scone, so we're going to leave them whole like that, all right?
Oh,
Leave them
nice
whole.
and plump, juicy cherries,
Yes,
huh?
yes. And also, we're mixing together, we have the soy milk. Okay, honey, let me hold that.
Oh,
okay,
I'm not doing it
okay,
right?
let's just move it.
Oh, you're doing a lot faster than I am.
All right, so what we're doing is we're just making it a softer texture, easier to work with. Okay?
Good old scones.
Scones.
Been a while since you made some scones for me.
I know.
It's about that time, huh?
Yes,
I
well,
can come on 3 Ben and get some scones.
yeah, you're going to get them today.
I'm going to get them today. All right.
You get them today.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead on with that. We're going to go ahead and start putting in the margarine. Now, a lot of times when you're doing the margarine, you put it in big chunks. And what I like to do is just to take it and start it up by just cutting it kind of thinner. That way it goes through faster. You do want to use cold margarine, however.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to have you take that fork and mash that around. Because we want to get the texture of cornmeal. Cornmeal, okay? Cornmeal. Got you working a little bit, huh?
Yeah, this.
Working a little bit in this, Joe.
Earn my keep on this
Earn
program.
your keep in there. Just keep on mashing it down, mashing it down. You can also use a pastry blender, blender to do that same thing, okay? So the name of the game is you want to get that, see it's getting that crumb going?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Okay.
And what I have is I have the maple syrup and I also have the soy milk. And what we're going to do is once he gets done with that, I'm going to help him with that, just kind of mash a little bit. Once you
Now,
get,
do you have to have maple syrup? I know that can be expensive. But...
you don't have to have it, but it really is called a cherry maple syrup.
Oh, well then,
scone.
yeah, I guess you have to have the maple syrup then. Otherwise, you
yes.
have to change the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I get you.
And maple syrup can get expensive, but you know what? I always say when it comes to your health,
We're worth it.
absolutely.
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 I know he's going
Okay.
there.
Now, once we've gotten that together, it has a kind of a cornmeal, has a cornmeal texture, okay?
I think you did that.
All right. I did that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
You
turn
just
it
happen
around
to
a
be
little
on
bit.
my side.
Turn around a little bit, turn around a little bit, turn around a little
Okay.
bit. Okay. Now, at this point, I'm just let you wipe that down for me, Curtis. I'm going to take it and clean that up. And we have the cherries. Cherries.
You supposed to eat one now?
I can have one.
Or? Okay. Oh, goodness.
Put them in.
Nice and plump and juicy.
Aren't they good?
Yes, they are.
I like cherries. You can make all types of scones. Cherry ones, you can make cranberry, you can make raisins, you can make all.
Now, you have several scones in your cookbook. In both cookbooks, or?
No, the scones are in our my global cookbook.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to do this, you want to coat the actual cherries, or you want to coat your raisins, or whatever you're going to be using. You want to coat them first before you start adding in
okay.
your other ingredients. Now we're going to go ahead and pour in soy milk.
Okay.
And we're also going to pour in
The maple syrup.
the maple syrup.
And soy milk, there's many types of soy milks out there, many brands. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different brands
yes,
out there. Usually when I do the scones, I like to use one that's got vanilla already in it.
vanilla. Okay.
Okay? Now we're going to just stir it around.
And we didn't have scones coming up in our
We didn't either.
neighborhood, yeah.
We didn't either. We didn't have them either. But you know what? As you get a little bit more mature in age and you start looking at other recipe books and stuff and you start seeing things, and that's actually going to other areas, other cultures, and see some of the stuff that they're eating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're used to biscuits.
Yeah, good old biscuits. Yeah.
Biscuits. And so the
But not
scones, the scones are sweeter.
Yeah.
They taste absolutely delicious. I'm telling you that right now. Now, I'm going to, would you go ahead and stir it a little bit more, because I'm going to get my hands ready. I'm going to get my hands ready.
Oh, you're getting ready
all
to
you're
get
going to do is
busy.
just kind of just go around and get the flour, make sure we have all that flour
Okay.
in there. I'm going to just get my hands together. Okay. Bring my pan here. That's enough?
Okay.
Okay.
I think
All
it's pretty
right.
well mixed up in
It's
there.
mixed up really well. Thank you. Did a good job there. And all I'm going to do, this is not, once again, we talk about easy recipes. Now check this out. All we're going to do is we're going to take this up. See how nice and pliable that is?
Okay.
Now, you can actually just take at this point, and if it gets too much sticky, put a little bit more flour on your hands, okay? And I'm not going to do that. We're just going to take it, and you're going to just move it around. And I'm going to take it out. And get all the goodies. All the goodies.
Play Mrs. Patty Cakes?
Yeah, yeah. And we're going to sit it in our pan, and then we're going to start patting it out.
Oh, okay.
So we're making scones. You don't have to roll it out with a rolling pin. You don't have to worry about that at all. And you want to make sure that you don't make it too flat. See them cherries in there?
Oh, I see, yes. Now, I guess you can cut it any design you want.
Well,
but-
a scone is actually small triangle squares, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife. You had that sharp knife? Did I have that sharp knife? Here it is. Take our knife, and we're just going to not go all the way through, but we're actually going to make the line.
You call that score it.
Okay.
Is that the term?
I'm not sure, but
Oh.
that sounds good to me. Okay?
Okay.
Now, believe it or not, this actually makes 12, but we're just going to do 8.
Oh, I see.
Okay? That makes them a little bit bigger.
Right.
Okay? Just enough, because once they bake, you'll be able to cut it a lot easier.
Oh, okay. So you know where to cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to cut that line there. Okay? And then it's going to go in the oven. It's going to bake in the oven. And the temperature for this particular one here is 400 degrees, and it bakes for about 15 minutes. Okay?
And you want it brown? Or
It's going to actually turn brown, and when it comes out the oven, what you're going to do is you're going to spray a little bit with the cooking spray, and then you're going to sprinkle a little bit of the fructose on top of that. And voila, you will have the scones, and you will see the scones at the end of the program. Well, right now, this is going to go in the oven.
Okay.
And what I want them to do is stay by.
Would you like to learn more about preparing healthful vegetarian dishes? If so, then you want to be sure to order our free Abundant Living resource sheet. It contains useful information about products and cookbooks that will help you to learn more about this natural way of cooking. Along with your order, we would also like to include a free copy of the booklet, The Natural Way to Keep in Shape. This 20-page booklet is filled with tips that will help you to develop a total lifestyle approach to health. To receive both the Abundant Living resource sheet and The Natural Way to Keep in Shape, call us at 800-752-3226 during regular business hours. Call and ask for this special offer today.
Well, we're going to welcome you back on this one particular one because we've got this recipe that is fantastic. It's actually called Festive Scrambled Tofu.
Oh, sounds good, baby.
Let's look at the ingredients on this one. It calls for 1 16-ounce package of tofu firm, 1 tablespoon of soy margarine, a half a cup of onions chopped, 1/2 cup of green peppers diced, 1/2 cup of red peppers diced, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of McKay's chicken style seasoning, a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a 1/2 cup of soy bagel bits, and 1 small tomato slice.
All right, scrambled tofu.
Now, this is
you
good.
did this years ago.
This is good, but this is a different one because
Different
this
one.
one is actually a festive,
It's festive.
which means it has a lot more color in it.
Okay.
I mean, I've had it before with color and stuff with them as well, but this one really has some real pretty colors. You can already
Yes.
see. I'm going to have you go ahead on and slice that up real quick. Slice those red peppers up and
Dice
then
it
the
up, you
green.
mean?
Yeah, you can dice it. You can dice it.
Okay.
And I'm going to, just meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead on and mash up this tofu. Get it ready.
Now, how long have you been working with tofu, honey? Quite some time, hasn't it?
For a long, long time. And, you know, because soy is so versatile and it has no flavor, and so therefore it picks up the flavor of whatever it's next to.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a very good thing.
Want me to dice up the
Dice it up
peppers too?
Yes. And then you can go ahead and get that stove ready to. I got the margarine already melting there in the skillet.
Okay.
Okay.
Turn this up. Scrambled tofu. This is one of the things that a lot of people will start when they learn how to cook with tofu. One of the easier things to do.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
Let's see if it's on.
It's not on. I smell the gas there on
There
it.
you
Turn
go.
it down.
How about that? Okay.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead on. I'm going to real quickly do the onions also in this. It's got all the goodies.
Easy breakfast ideas.
And while I'm doing this one, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. No biggie. I'm going to go ahead on and put those all in.
Want me to go ahead and
Ooh, look at those
stir
colors.
that around a little bit?
With your fork, here with your spatula. Okay, we're going to saute that a little bit. I like that margarine in there because the margarine gives a different kind of a flavor there.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead on, as we saute that, you know, it's up a little bit. I usually saute it until it gets a little bit translucent. Your onions are going to be a
Okay.
little translucent. And then what I like to do is just take and move it around in the skillet to give room for the tofu.
Now, talk about this tofu now. There's different textures. You have firm, extra firm, and soft.
And soft.
Now, which...
This one is a firm for
This
the,
is the
for the
firm.
scrambled. Yeah, for the scrambled tofu, you want to use
Okay.
the firm. The soft one's a little bit too soft for this. Okay.
soft for like desserts and shakes and
Yes.
puddings.
Yes.
So you want the firm.
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna do the
Now,
firm.
the extra firm, you want that for your meat.
When you're
dishes
doing
or-
meatloaves and you're doing burgers,
Okay.
you know, those kind of things, you're going to actually use that for that, all right?
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead on and sprinkle on the seasonings because
Okay.
right now it's just plain white colored tofu.
Yeah.
But we've got to get the
Doesn't look like
assimilation
eggs.
of eggs. So
Okay.
we're going to put on the chicken style seasoning, and this is also the garlic powder.
Now, chicken style seasonings, not any chicken in it.
No
This beef
chicken.
style seasoning without any beef.
That's
but
right.
Again, can be in any health food store, right? And
Right,
also
right.
major grocery stores too.
Major grocery stores
Okay.
have all this, okay? And if you don't see it, ask the grocer.
Gotta ask for it.
Ask the manager to get those things in. You know, you've seen it on 3ABN, Abundant
That's
Living
right.
Show, you know. Any other shows that also come on where the cooks are talking.
Okay.
And I'm going to put in the magic. I call the magic ingredient. That's that turmeric.
Oh,
turmeric
okay.
powder. And the name of the game is you want the turmeric. The turmeric's going to help to turn it that yellow
Now it's
you're
turning
looking
yellow.
for. Going to look at that and see that do its thing.
Because we eat with our eyes, folks.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know.
All right.
Now, you know, while this goes.
Now, this is cholesterol-free,
Cholesterol-free cooking.
saturated fat-free.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at that. Look at that.
This does not build up into your artery
No
wall.
building of the artery wall, and it's so easy. Once again, easy,
Very
an easy
economical as
recipe.
well.
Absolutely,
But, you know, as we
absolutely.
say always, the food does not stop at the cash register.
That's right.
The
That's
cost
right.
of food continues on to the drugstore, hospital, whatever. That's the total cost of food.
Now, Curtis, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the tomatoes on this.
Okay.
And then we're going to put that lid on because we're going to go to a break. And then when we come back from the break, they get a chance to see this particular recipe here, and then we'll start putting all the rest of our stuff together,
Well, you
okay?
can put it on now, or got
Let's
a
go
little
ahead
time.
and put it on there
yes,
now.
Go ahead. Got a little time now. A few minutes
Isn't that
left.
pretty?
Yes. Now the colorful festive part of
The
it.
festival is
It's
coming
coming
in.
into play.
Yes. And these tomatoes came from our yard.
Yes.
about that.
We have our first garden.
First
A
garden.
container garden, folks. No bending over, no weeds, and no backaches. I know we're talking about, well, what kind of garden do they have? We'll probably talk about that after the break, huh?
Yes, and I'm going to actually sprinkle on, lastly, the bacon bits.
Now, this is soy.
Soy
all right,
bacon
so
bits.
it's animal-free.
Yes, indeedy.
All
So we're going
right.
to turn that down real low for me. Would you turn it down real low?
Okay. Let me see here. It's down low.
Okay. And we're going to put the top on. And it actually just cooks for a few minutes, so we want you just to stay by.
Would you like to learn more about preparing healthful vegetarian dishes? If so, then you want to be sure to order our free Abundant Living resource sheet. It contains useful information about products and cookbooks that will help you to learn more about this natural way of cooking. Along with your order, we would also like to include a free copy of the booklet, The Natural Way to Keep in Shape. This 20-page booklet is filled with tips that will help you to develop a total lifestyle approach to health. To receive both the Abundant Living resource sheet and The Natural Way to Keep in Shape, call us at 800-752-3226 during regular business hours. Call and ask for this special offer today.
Well, we have
Okay.
finished this program.
Teamwork.
We did that easy breakfast ideas. And
Yes, we did.
We started off with the oven fried potatoes.
Okay.
They did not have any oil at all, as far as just spray them a little bit, you know.
And it's looking good, too,
Bell
baby.
peppers and onions and mushrooms
Yes.
and the meat, which is a meat
Meatless
alternative.
sausage around the
sausage
perimeter.
around the sides.
Around the
And then we
sides.
moved from there to making those cherry maple scones. Oh, my goodness.
cherry
Look how beautiful they
Just
are.
coming out the plump cherries,
Absolutely, big
coming
old
out the
plump cherries.
sides.
Yes, indeed.
Just
Yes.
want to take a bite out of those.
Yes. And then we finished off with our festive scrambled tofu.
Tofu. All
And
right.
I'm telling you, is it gorgeous? Beautiful?
Very festive. Very
Very
colorful.
festive, very festive. And you know, with all of this, you definitely have to get that fruit on in. And so we just have, of course, our cantaloupe and our kiwi.
Kiwi,
Along with
yes.
that, what a wonderful breakfast, nice hearty breakfast, you know what I'm saying?
This will last for at least 4 to 5 hours.
At
okay?
least that long.
Breakfast
at least
like
that
a
long.
king
And lunch like a queen.
and supper like a pauper.
Or that's a pulperitis.
That's her interpretation. I knew that was coming. All right. Now, this
Now-
is good. Now, that's, I know what kiwi and cantaloupe taste like. What about the scones, baby? Can you?
I had a feeling that you were going to go after
Can you
the
hook a
scone
brother
first,
up?
Curtis. Curtis, I'm telling you, scones.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know, when we get to this point, you always take your time and you feed yourself first. Why is that?
Because they're just so good.
Okay, you just wait till the time, just the clock is just ticking
we
down.
will.
Yeah. Okay, can you just put it in my mouth, baby? Just, it just melts in your mouth. This is really good. In your cookbook, correct?
In the cookbook.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and close. John 10:10. Jesus said, I come, that they might have life and have it more abundantly.
Well, we are excited today. My name is Paula Akins, and this is the Abundant Living Show. And this is my husband, Curtis Akins.
Very good. Glad
You know-
to be with you today in this kitchen.
Yep, I started the program off talking about the fact that when they see me by myself, you know, they were
It
wondering.
means that you're still married, still
yeah,
with,
but you know, the fact that, you know, when it's all cooking show, I
That
usually
means
come
all
on
cooking.
alone,
Yeah,
all
when they
cooking
see
that
you,
whole day.
it's all cooking when they see you.
Yeah, and people always talk about they love the recipes.
That's right.
You know.
Easy breakfast ideas.
Easy breakfast ideas.
Underscore easy.
Yes, and a lot of times when it comes to looking at breakfast ideas, most of the time the American public eat a lot of things that's very high in fat, very high in salt. And so this show is really good because we're going to do some recipes that's going to really be delicious and nutritious, yet without all the heavy sodium and a lot of the oils and stuff. Like the very first recipe we're going to be doing,
okay.
which is actually called oven fried potatoes.
Oh, interesting.
Let's look at the recipe.
Okay.
It calls for cooking spray, 2 large potatoes sliced thin and cut into circles, 1/2 cup of onions chopped, 1/2 cup of green peppers chopped, 1/2 cup of mushrooms sliced, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and sea salt to taste.
Oven fried potatoes. Okay.
Now you know, when you see me by myself and Curtis is not here, that means it is a all cooking show. That doesn't mean that Curtis is not going to be here though. It does mean it's all cooking. So you want to get your paper and pencil, you want to call up a friend and tell them to watch Abundant Living, because we are doing today easy breakfast ideas. This is one of the ones I developed.
It's oven and it's fried.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
Well, you know, the only way you can use that word fry is because I'm actually taking my oven temperature up to 450 degrees, which is really high.
So the temperature makes it...
So the temperature makes it change.
Okay.
And basically because people like those fried potatoes, so I kind of figure rather than saying oven potatoes, they might say, oh, I might want an oven potato. If I say oven fried potatoes, they might say, oh, I think I'm
You got the Southerns coming in now.
Yeah, I'm going to stay tuned for that.
But it's not the deep fried.
It's no deep frying.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Curtis, on this particular recipe, we're going to be using spray, cooking spray.
Okay.
And I've already sprayed